hello everyone and welcome back to Mathematics with Usman. This is the fourth tutorial in my series on the topic coordinate geometry. And students, today we are going to discuss equation of a straight line. Let me introduce you people with the objective of today's lesson. Students, we have to find the equation of a straight line when 2 points lying on it are given, and number 2, its alternative form. So let's begin with the objective number 1, equation of the line passing through 2 points. Students, just remember, any line, if it is a straight line, it has the form y is equals to mx plus c. And students, x and y, they are the coordinates of the Cartesian plane. However, two important things that you have to keep in mind are m and c. Here, m is a gradient of the line, means the steepness of the line, or you can say the slope of the line. And c is the point where the straight line will cut the y-axis, means the y-intercept. Let us consider a simple example by considering two particular points on a straight line, A having the coordinates -4 and 3, B is having the coordinates -1 and -3. Students, for understanding, I recommend you to draw first the graph of this straight line. So let us first draw the Cartesian plane like this. Now there is a straight line which is having 2 points on it. So let us consider 2 points. A is having the coordinates -4 and 3 lying in the second quadrant. B is having the coordinates -1, -3 and lying in the second quadrant. Let's join them to form a straight line. So this is our straight line whose equation we have to come up with. So students, I told you there are two important things that you have to come up with. Number 1, gradient m. Number 2, y-intercept c. After watching all the previous tutorial, now we are very much clear with the gradient. Students, gradient is the difference of the y coordinates to the difference of the x coordinates, or m is equals to rise over run. So we will use simple formula. What it is, change in y, means you have to subtract the y coordinate of B point with the y coordinate of the A point. So -3, -3, and in the denominator you have to find the difference of the x coordinates of both the points. So here we are having B whose x coordinate is -1, here we are having A whose x coordinate is -4. So -1 minus times -4, this will make it +3, +3 -1 will give you 3, -3 -3 in the numerator will give you -6. Now if you divide -6 with 3, you will come up with the value of the gradient m, that is equals to -2. So one thing we got is the gradient of this line, particular line, which is equals to -2, and we can easily see that the line is falling as we move from left to the right. So it has a negative gradient. And from the definition of the gradient, we know that we have to find for 1 unit in x direction what is the change in the y direction. See students, for 1 unit in x, there is 1, 2. 2 units in y and in the negative sense. So the gradient of this line is -2. See 1, 1, 2, -2. 1, 1, 2. So the gradient of this line is -2. Now what is the y-intercept of this line? Students, you got the value of your m and consider any point out of these two. If you want to take A, it's up to you. Even you can use the coordinate B. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take x as -4, y as 3, and the value of gradient here is already with me. So only unknown quantity, if I substitute the values of y m and x in the equation is c. So we can easily come up with the value of c. So substituting the values of m, x and y in the equation y is equals to mx plus c to find the value of c. What we get? Y will be replaced with 3, which is the y coordinate of the point A. X will be replaced with minus 4, which is the x coordinate of the point A. And m will be replaced in this equation with minus 2. And plus c is the only unknown quantity here. If by doing simple mathematics, we come up with the value of c, that is equals to minus 5. So students, equation of this straight line will be equals to y equals to m will be replaced with minus 2, c will be replaced with minus 5. So the equation of this line, that is falling from point A to point B, is equals to y equal minus 2x minus 5. Students, we have another approach to form an equation of the straight line, and in this alternative form of an equation, let me draw Cartesian plane for you people. Consider any line having the graph like this. Now let us consider a one fixed point that is lying on this line. Just bear in mind, this point is a fixed point having the coordinates x1 and y1. Now consider a general point that is lying on this line having the coordinates x and y, and we named it as P. Remember students, this point P can lie anywhere on this line. It can be here, it can lie even below this fixed point A. Now, as we know, the gradient of this line can be calculated using the formula, that is ratio of the difference of the y values to the difference of the x values. Now we have to take the difference of the y coordinates of P point and A point and the difference of x coordinates of both the points. Gradient is represented with m, so m is equals to the difference of the y values, y minus y1, that is our numerator, and x minus x1, that will give us our denominator. Now students, by simple mathematics, multiply both sides by x minus x1. If we multiply x minus x1 on the left hand side and on the right hand side, we are going to get the equation like this: m into x minus x1 equals to y minus y1. And we can write it in this form as well: y minus y1 equals to m into x minus x1. Students, this form of an equation is very useful in your coming classes, where we are going to use it very oftenly in finding the equation of the straight line. And this brings us to the end of today's tutorial. I hope it has some value to your mathematical concept. As always, thank you very much for watching Mathematics with Usman. See you in another tutorial.